Talk Nation, welcome back everybody. It is fight week. Jaron Boots Ennis faces Delorme. Guess what, man? This ain't gonna be pretty. Boots have been in the trap working, you know what I'm saying? After his last victory over Sergey Lipinets, you know what I mean? Stopping and kind of embarrassing Sergey Lipinets. But let me shout out to Sergey Lipinets because you know what? He stepped up via Twitter and he praised the young champion. He says, you know what, man? Ain't nobody want to fight this young guy. And that is what I've been talking about. You know what I mean? The top guys, not only they not facing each other, but they not even facing the up and comers. So let me tell y'all something, man. If the top guys want to make sure, or excuse me, wait until Boots is a mandatory or he gets a title, guess what? It's only going to get ugly. He clearly came out and stated, you know what, 2022, that's going to be my year and I'm coming for all the belts. And I like his chances, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for the love on the video when I talked about Terence Crawford. Kind of threw a little jab at Jaron Boots and saying, you know what, I'm a little smarter than Boots. We all know Terence Crawford, pound for pound, one of the best, not only in boxing, but also the welterweight division. He faces Showtime Shawn Porter. That's going to be a super explosive fight. But guess what, man? Jaron Boots Ennis is young, he's hungry, and he is most certainly on his way up. Not necessarily saying that Terence Crawford and Errol Spence and Stanionis and these guys are on their way out. But at the same time, a lot of people are starting to pay attention and take notice to not only Jaron Ennis' skill, but potentially his spot in the coming, let's just say, year or two in the welterweight division. He already went on record and saying, this is Jaron Ennis, you know what, once I, you know what I mean, clear out the welterweight division, I'm moving up. And that's what I'm talking about, because a lot of these guys are sitting pretty, they comfortable in the division, they not fighting nobody, but yet they holding on to a belt. But to a degree, you have to excuse Errol Spence because he had the eye injury. But like I told you guys in previous videos, go back and check them out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe while you at it, and share the truth. But who knows, man? You know what I mean? Spence, that's a very serious injury. You know what I mean? Once you start talking about your vision, and then you getting surgery, and keep in mind, he was in that accident, you know what I mean? So physically, the tolls are starting to add up for Errol Spence, you know what I mean? And if he gets injured in his next fight, whoever it may be, that's if he fights again, that could spell the end of his career. Now, I'm sure the sanctioning bodies is giving him time to heal and recuperate. I don't think they're going to strip him. There has been no talks of the WBC stripping Errol Spence of his title. But at the same time, if he chooses to fight, it should be a warm-up fight. Although he said, you know what, he said, skip all that. I want to face a top competitor. So who is he going to face? You know what I mean? Now, if Terence Crawford happens to be Showtime Shawn Porter, are we finally going to get that matchup? Because I believe that should be the next fight. As far as huge fights in the welterweight division, that should happen if Bud defeats Showtime Shawn Porter. That's not going to be an easy fight. You know what I mean? But salute to Shawn Porter because he's fought, you know what I mean? Everybody has nothing to prove. And after this fight with Bud, that's not only going to say a lot, but for real, you know what I mean? That's pretty much going to solidify Shawn Porter's career, especially if he happens to upset and get a victory over Terence Crawford. Now back to Jaron Ennis. After he faces Delorme, will he get that top shot? You know what I mean? Because not only I believe he deserves it, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody know, man, they scared of this guy. You know what I mean? Shawn Porter, I told you guys before, he's the only competitor that stepped up and said, you know what? I ain't messing with these young guys. You know what I mean? And particularly, you know what I'm saying, Jaron Ennis, because these guys is dangerous. You know what I mean? You go in there, get upset, get embarrassed, get outboxed, excuse me, you know what I'm saying? That's going to tarnish your career a little bit. But we're going to see Jaron Boots Ennis, man, is a switch hitter. He's explosive in a southpaw stance and orthodox stance. You know what I mean? He has great power. He's highly intelligent. And the fact that he's young, I mean, his ceiling is still way up here. You know what I'm saying? In boxing term, he's not even in his prime yet. You know what I mean? He's already so dangerous and skillful. But salute to his father, you know what I'm saying? Bozzy Ennis, shout out to the dungeon in Philly, you know what I mean? Like, he raised his sons to be champions, you know what I mean? All of his sons, you know what I mean, were former champions. Now, Jaron Ennis is looking to get his belt so he can, I guess, take his place amongst the pecking order as far as family status, you know what I mean? but he has a long, bright career ahead of him. And this fight with Delorme, it's going to not only be special, but it's going to show a lot of people that, you know what, like this guy right here, he may be the next one. A lot of people, man, Steven Espinosa, he gives him love, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people who know the game, who understand what's going on, like they understand that Jaron Ennis is a problem. And once he gets that shot, because he's been calling out the top guys, man, top 5, top 10 for years, you know what I mean? It's not like he ain't been calling out nobody, because people was talking about he ain't fought nobody. And I told you guys, if nobody's willing to fight you, how can you talk about a fighter's record? You know what I mean? Same thing with Bud. You know what I mean? It's hard for Bud to get fights because they know Bud Crawford he's dangerous. You know what I mean? But just wanted to touch on that real quick. Another video coming up. As I said, this is fight week. You know what I'm saying? The fight is going down 30th in Las Vegas. It's going to be super explosive. You know what I'm saying? If y'all can't tune in, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because we will be talking about the fight. Talk Nation, stand up is your boy. Peace and blessings to you all. Talk Nation, baby.